Now, last week we brought you a little snippet of an interview with, frankly, someone who needs very little introduction. Nevertheless, he is Sir Richard Branson, founder and chairman of the Virgin Group, the overall boss of around 200 businesses, $17 billion worth of turnover, 50,000 odd employees across 29 countries. And he was in Doha recently launching a new mobile phone service. We caught up with him for an exclusive interview, not so much about mobile phones, but about what it means to be an entrepreneur.
I don't think that the rules are any different today than they were, when I left school at 15 and, started off. I mean, I think, first of all, I wouldn't, if I wanted to become an entrepreneur or wanted to make money, I most likely would fail. I mean, what you actually need to do is have a passion for something. I mean, when I set off, I left school to launch a magazine to try to campaign against the Vietnamese War, which I thought was a horribly wrong war, and produced a magazine for young people, which I felt passionate about. The entrepreneurial aspect, I soon realized that being an editor of a magazine, I had to worry about the printing and the paper manufacturing and the distribution. So I had to become an entrepreneur in order for my passion to survive. And I think ever since then, I've never thought, how can I make money in something? I thought, how can I improve the airline industry? How can I create an airline that, people want to fly, something which I can be really proud of? And then, at the end of the day, we get accountants to sort of hopefully add up the money, and hopefully we got more money than...
So in other words, don't go in it to make money, but it's a nice byproduct of it as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think that those people who just think, how can I make a lot of money, I think generally fall flat in their face. I mean, you've got to create something that is exceptional. I mean, Al Jazeera is exceptional, and it will succeed because it's exceptional, because it's brave, because it's different, and the same applies to what is a business? A business is somebody who's seen a gap in the market, believes that they can do it much better than other people are doing it, goes in and creates something which is exceptional, and because it's exceptional, therefore, it will succeed.
So, do you believe that spirit is still alive now in young people today? Because, as I said, it's a different world where things are easily available. There's, in some people, an almost expectation that things will come to them, and it's a lot easier, as I say, with the technology around today. Do you think that spirit, that drive to make it happen, is actually still around in people today? Yeah,
I mean, there are certainly people out there with that drive. I mean, but I think, if you've got a hobby, if you have a passion for something, you'll see that other people are not doing it as well, and you'll see how to, fill that gap. There are entrepreneurially minded people who will just feel, I mean, it's screaming out to them, I can do this better than somebody else is doing it, and they'll go and do it, and they'll be very successful at it, and that's why, generally things get, things improve all the time, because there are entrepreneurs out there trying to improve things.
So what's next for Virgin then? You've expanded into 200 odd different areas, so diverse. What are you going to do next? Without giving the game away?
Well, I mean, we've got quite a lot of wonderful projects, but again, they're more passions than, so I didn't think, how can I make a lot of money to go into the space business? I'll go into the space business. Or how can I make a lot of money? I'll go into the, go and explore the depths of the ocean. I mean, what I felt was, I would love to go to space. Nobody else is building a spaceship. Let's see if we can find the best engineer to create, a reusable spaceship that can go into space, that can come back to Earth, that can, make it a space affordable, not just for myself, but for other people. Something we can be really proud of. And, we've had a wonderful, last few years, and we're getting quite close now to, next year we'll be, launching, our spaceship into space. And, it's tremendously exciting. And then we found a lot of people who want to go to space have said, we'd love to explore the oceans, and there's no submarine that can go down 35,000 feet. So, we're trying to overcome the technological problem of actually, and the enormous pressure on a submarine to go all the way down to the bottom of the ocean, but also to be able to, see what's going on around you. And
will you know when to stop?
I mean, I'll stop when I drop, basically. So,
the reason I ask is just because, as I say, you've got Virgin on planes, trains, automobiles, cans of cola, mobile phones. Is there a risk that you can go too far and people can go, oh, Branson again?
Every single time that we've launched a new venture, we've always had somebody saying, is this one step too far for Virgin? I think that, the thing is that we're not, most brands specialize in one area: Nike shoes, Coca-Cola soft drinks, Microsoft computers. Virgin is a way of life brand. I mean, it's basically my self-exploring life. I mean, if I go to a health club, I find, it's not a very good health club. I'm sure I can do better. So let's go and create, the health club that I would love to go to, and let's make sure we get every single detail right. And then, if you get it right, it'll be successful, and we can then move on to the next thing. So, I've spent my life creating, the train service in the UK. It used to be dreadful. We took over the West Coast Main Line. It's now actually, a really good service, something Britain could be proud of. It was a very exciting sort of 7 years of transforming Britain's rail network. Aviation before Virgin, set up. There was no seatback videos. We invented the seatback video for aviation, and now people can actually be entertained. We put stand-up bars on board, limousines to and from the plane. Anyway, just getting every little detail right, and it's been a great voyage of fun and creation.
Sir Richard, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Well, we wanted to find out how much DU was being manufactured in the U.S. because we suspected the U.S. was using a lot more. Now, one of the Japanese physicists who came to our Hamburg conference calculated that 800 tons of depleted uranium, if it's released into the air, is the atomicity equivalent, or the equivalent number of radioactive atoms, as 41,000 Nagasaki bombs. We have released over 250,000 Nagasaki bombs, equivalent radiation, into our atmosphere. But what's even more alarming is that the McAllister bomb factory in Oklahoma, McAllister, Oklahoma, was applying for relicensing at the NRC in order to be able to continue manufacturing DU weapons. And in order to maintain level 1 status, which they have to do to get relicensed, they must be able to ship 1,600 tons of depleted uranium weapons a day. That's 166,000 Nagasaki bombs of radiation. It's 20 train car loads of DU going out of that factory every day. It's only one of 4 U.S. Army bomb factories. And altogether, at all 4 bomb factories at any one time, they are allowed by the NRC to have up to 44,000 tons of DU on site. That's 4.5 million Nagasaki bombs.
I'm along